After serving in the Saltal tribe for 28 years, we felt called to serve in the neighboring Toholobal tribe. The municipal center for the tribe was the town of Las Margaritas, where there was an active Spanish-speaking Presbyterian church. Although the majority of our time was dedicated to Toholobal ministry, we also participated in the activities of this mestizo congregation. Las Margaritas is located on the edge of a medium-altitude plateau of fertile farmland. As you approach town, you get this view of the cemetery, which is about a mile north of town. From the tropical lowlands to the east come fluffy cumulus clouds that create beautiful skies. Las Margaritas has an attractive city square. Its mild and moist climate is ideal for flowers, shrubs, and trees. Benches on the square welcome visitors and invite them to sit and enjoy the peaceful surroundings. There is a wide walkway all around the square, and on the east side is the municipal building. Margarita is the Spanish word for daisy. The town is appropriately named Las Margaritas, as every fall the fields are covered with yellow daisies. The daisies grow and blossom after the corn and bean fields have been harvested. Las Margaritas is also noted for its stone fences. Certain local men are skilled in building stone fences that are perfectly shaped and straight. The stones are fitted tightly together without any mortar between them. Inside the stone walls, the corn and bean plants are safe and healthy. The Las Margaritas Presbyterian Church has a long history and is located just a half block from the center of the town. Here it is hosting a women's convention. Pastor Jorge Lopez is the visiting Bible teacher for the conference. On the wall are the banners of the many women's groups attending the conference. Providing special music for the convention is the local men's singing group. The Las Margaritas congregation was blessed by the ministry of Pastor Jose Juan Suarez, who came from the state of Tabasco. One of the original members of the congregation is Erlindo Lopez on the left. On the right is Dr. Miguel Herrera, who years before came to Las Margaritas as a medical school graduate to serve his year of social service. Through the witness of Erlindo Lopez, he became an evangelical, and he continued their friendship with visits from Mexico City. Pastor Jose Juan served faithfully and enthusiastically. Here he conducts a wedding in the church. The consistory planned a special celebration of Jose Juan's birthday. Elder Jorge Lopez expresses their gratitude for his ministry among them. Elder Derle Dominguez gave a brief message. And Erlindo Lopez, the son of elderly Erlindo, brought greetings from his church in Comitan. Following the service, everyone gathered in the nearby parsonage. There, Pastor Jose Juan received many gifts. A men's quartet provided special music, and the congregation sang hymns with enthusiasm. Helen was seated in the front row next to Erlindo Lopez. Breaking piñatas is a Mexican way to celebrate a birthday. The pastor's daughter was given the first opportunity. She gave it a good whack, but was unable to break it. Other children were also unsuccessful. Older children, including the pastor's son, were then given the opportunity, with the handicap of being blindfolded. Finally, a girl gave it a solid blow, breaking it and scattering the candy on the floor. and immediately there was a wild scramble for the candy. Another piñata was strung up, and additional children tried unsuccessfully to break it. Finally, it was the pastor's turn, and he swung at it valiantly and unsuccessfully, until he took off the blindfold. Then with one mighty blow he shattered it and was almost trampled in the scramble for the candy. Then came a special treat for all, Las Margaritas tamales, cooked in banana leaves. They are famous for their flavor. Pastor Jose Juan and his wife Maxima and their 2 kids are a very attractive family. During the Holy Week of Easter, an outdoor service is held near the town. They gather in the shade of some large trees. Pastor Jose Juan accompanied the singing with his guitar. We were often invited to services in private homes. We provided transportation for these elders who held a service in a nearby village. The special music was provided by this family. The 2 brothers were very good on their guitars, and their 2 sisters sang very well together. The home we rented in Las Margaritas had a large living room, which was very useful for meetings. This is a gathering of the Women's Society of the church. The young people planned a special birthday celebration for Helen at 4 o'clock in the morning. Fortunately, they warned me that they were coming. They covered the front door with a tissue paper curtain and then began to sing, and then Helen, dressed in her bathrobe, had to break through the tissue paper. And she was warmly welcomed by their leaders. Helen then invited them inside, where they held a service, sang, and prayed. I had secretly prepared kettles of hot chocolate, and we cut up a cake that we were planning for another celebration that day. Helen baked another cake, and that evening the Women's Society gathered for her birthday. Pastor Jose Juan gave a brief message. And there were gifts, including this one delivered by the pastor's daughter. Everyone enjoyed watching her unwrap them. The gifts were useful items, such as soap, flowers, napkins, and 3 eggs. In June, the consistory celebrated my birthday. They were a very loving and supportive group of people. Now to introduce you to a very special couple, Romeo and Angelina. Angelina is a daughter of Erlindo Lopez, the church patriarch. She was the one who arranged for us to rent the beautiful home we lived in. This family photo was taken 5 years later, with Erlindo, her older brother. This man helped us to hang our curtains in the living room. They had 8 children in about a dozen years. They invited us to celebrate with them the birth of their first grandchild. They were eager to share with Helen the joy of holding the grandchild. Being a part of the Spanish-language congregation meant we were called upon to help provide items for some of their weddings. In this case, Helen and the daughter of Elder Eli Dominguez were given the task of providing a wedding cake. Putting it all together was quite an assignment. Putting the frosting on was also challenging. The final result was really professional looking. In the tiny patio between our kitchen and bedroom grew this prolific papaya tree. A couple years later, it was taller and still producing. Also in the same patio was this flowering bush that had trumpet-shaped flowers that attracted hummingbirds. A chayote vine came over the back wall from the neighbor's yard. Helen picked them and took them to the neighbors, who said, Anything that grows on your side of the wall is yours. I had to cut down a tree that was becoming too big for our backyard. We planted bougainvillea in the front yard, and it grew very well. The red bougainvillea was covered with blossoms, and when the sun shone on them, they were spectacular. Also in the front yard were these hibiscus bushes. Las Margaritas was a great place to grow flowers.